فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون.
Brothers and sisters in Islam, talking of a change, talking of becoming happy and better individuals, we as a community need to also change collectively. We need to be a better community in America. We need to benefit our neighbors, our co-workers. And I'm only asking you to practice the revelation. I'll share with you something that happened yesterday that upset me the whole day. I'm not going to name anybody. A Muslim brother hired a Mexican to do a job for him. The Mexican ended up working 12 hours a day for a whole week. He was promised 13 hours, $13 an hour. And guess what? He also got his wife with him, working for 2 days. The brother, the Muslim brother, got what he wanted from him, and he disappeared. He vanished. Imagine yesterday. Here is really what upset me, brothers and sisters in Islam. Yesterday, that Mexican who only speaks Spanish, he does not speak English. He brought with him his 9 years old to translate. When I was hearing from this little boy the complaint, متى يبلغ البنيان يوما تمامه إذا كنت تبني وغيرك يهدم. 9 years old, your people took away the wage of my father and my mother. We want it. We can give lectures, thousands, hundreds of lectures. Wallahi, that scene will stay in the mind of that little boy. And it may be the reason that hinders him to receive guidance from Allah. When are we going to practice the religion? When are we going to practice our deen? When Islam is going to be transcended into real life? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, ثَلَاثَةٌ أَنَا خَصْمُهُمْ وَمَنْ كُنْتُ خَصْمَهُ قَصَمْتُهُ. 3 types of people. I'm their enemy in the day of resurrection. Imagine Allah, Malik Yawm al-Din, is your enemy in the day of resurrection. يا أخي أرح ولدك يعني خذه بارك الله فيك. One of them, رجل استأجر أجيرا. Someone who hired somebody to do a job for him. فاستوفى منه ثم أكل حقه. Then he got what he wants, then he did not pay him. Imagine. We got to practice our deen if we want to make a difference in where we live. We're struggling to better our picture, to fit, and we're not practicing. Listen, I have not, you know, the issue is we have been trying to call the brother to validate the story of the Mexican, quite frankly, because so far we have not heard from the brother. But our sister, Jazallah Khair, in the office has been trying to call him. I tried to call him personally. He's not picking up. He's not answering. I left him messages. Listen, so far, what the Mexican has presented to us is allegations, are allegations. I have to validate it first, because you always have to hear both sides of the story. But he's not answering us. He's not responding. That means there are some legitimacy. But this is the dark side. I want to cheer you up before you leave. Last weekend, compare this with this. Last weekend, the property which the community owns, the Colfax community owned property. Community owned property, not Imam Karim property. The property on Chamber and Iliff. We purchased it for $410,000. We didn't have the money. We given the owner $150,000, and we told him, please give us a year to raise the money for you. Please. He said, I'm very concerned. I never dealt with Muslims before. In any rate, we were supposed to pay him off April 2014. Next year, yani. Alhamdulillah, Allah has guided us, supported us. We raised the money. We have the money sitting in the bank. You know, we as Muslims, we cannot benefit from money in banks. We don't receive interest. It's usury, it's unlawful. So the money is in the bank sitting. The man has been, quite frank, he's a non-Muslim. Non-Muslim. He's been so helpful. A little creek out there, we asked him, what is going to take to build? He got us a study already ready. We had some trees that we have to move from somewhere to, he got us, he's been so helpful. So we called him up. Listen, we have the money, we want to pay you now. Last week, this is last Friday, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Imagine, after we are handed over the note, the property note for the land, he takes his checkbook and he writes $10,000 donation to the project. He says, it's the first time I deal with Muslims, and I'm a businessman. You guys didn't break your word. You've been honest, and I appreciate that. And I would like to support your cause. This is the change we want to make in America as a community. Brothers and sisters in Islam, اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من الفتن ما ظهر منها وما بطن. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. أقم الصلاة.
فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون.